Hi, everybody. I am super excited to be here, and I'm just going to set myself up here. I believe my screen is being shared. Um, Let me just get myself up and running. I think that my screen flickered. Make sure that you see my screen. I think you do. That's awesome. Okay, so I am going to share some knowledge of essential oils and pets. So there's lots out there, and we've got a lot on the schedule here, on the agenda. This is what I'd like to cover. There's a lot of information, so please bear with me. But all this information is so important to understand so that we can use essential oils safely with our pets. So I'm going to do some myth busting, how to use the essential oils, give the top 10, some examples, some safety info, and where to stay in touch and learn more about how to use them with your pets and your family. And if there's anything else you want me to cover in a future session. So if you are watching live, please say hello, please comment. If you are watching a replay, #replay. So a little bit about me. I am Sonia Botwinski, and I live in beautiful British Columbia with my husband and my active son, 2 cats and 2 dogs. We've got 2 female cats. That is Summer and Ebony. They are 2 black cats. They're starting to get into actually their early senior years, and essential oils can definitely help support them. And that is Summer in the picture that you see behind me. And we've got 2 dogs, 2 Schipperkes. They are a Belgium Shepherd-like breed. They were bred to be a ratter on a boat, and they are a beautiful, loyal companion to have around the house. It's perfect for a townhouse size. They're not a big dog, but they're not too tiny either. And I've been doing and using doTERRA essential oils since about 2018. And I love how these magical bottles have helped me and my family, my son, and our pets. And so there's been many wins in our home, from eczema to allergy wins to even helping our senior cat in his later stage of life when he was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. And then also with our dogs as well, between just healing from a surgery, like from being spayed or neutered, and then also to help support with pain management when Roxy hurt herself. So because I saw these other wins with my own family, I decided to pursue an aromatherapy certificate. So I completed level 1, and I've been working my way through bit by bit for level 2. So I'm getting closer to that. And I completed that level 1 certificate with Dr. Rourke, and I can't wait to finish level 2. And then that way I can teach even more to help people support their pets and share my knowledge with them. So often pet owners will turn to essential oils when their current approach to health is not getting the results they need. So maybe they don't want to use toxic chemicals in the house. Maybe they want to get away from all those things, and they want some alternatives. They are perhaps feeling overwhelmed with all the options out there. They want to increase their quality of life with their fur babies, and they want to be empowered to not have to run to the vet for every little thing to save money, right? So there's many reasons why someone will be looking for an alternative route to their pet health. But some of you might know, not all essential oils are created equally, and you may already know this. There's no industry-wide standard. Essential oils are often distributed through one or more broker, and so the true source is often unknown. They're usually synthetic or a fragrance, or they're cut with some kind of cheap oil filler. And unfortunately, there's these synthetic oils and fillers are known to be hormone and endocrine disrupting, and those are the ones that can be often toxic to pets. That means some of the essential oils out there are not really essential oils and are giving the ones that are truly actual essential pure oils on the market a bad name. So they give them a bad rap. And so they cause a lot of problems for pets. And we want to avoid those ones, those not pure oils, at all costs. So how do we fix this? How do we do this? We work directly with the farmers and test the composition and quality during and after distillation, both in-house and by a third-party lab for accountability and integrity. And that's exactly what doTERRA does. So why use essential oils? To provide health-conscious individuals like yourself with a safe and natural alternative for our four-legged friends. They are used for a wide range of emotional, behavioral, and physical wellness applications, and just by diffusing can help provide calm and positively change a pet's behavior. Essential oils have a few, if any, undesirable side effects when used safely, and one drop is often all that is needed to achieve this powerful benefit. And here's Franklin. He is sitting there with copaiba, lavender, and balance, and those are his favorite oils for different reasons. So why would you choose doTERRA? As I said, that's exactly what they do, is that they test, and they do a lot of research, and they test, and they are transparent about it. Every single batch of every oil they do, over 54 tests, and you can look them up. So you can look up the GCMS test results on the sourceto.com, which is awesome. They publish all their results publicly online, which to me shows integrity. And they also send it to a third party for additional testing too. So this means that there's consistency from bottle to bottle. So the lavender you're using today will be the same quality and benefit as the bottle you will use and buy in 6 months, right? And use from that point on. So you can definitely look up on the Source to You. And on the bottom, I don't know if you can see this, but on the bottom, of this adaptive oil is a code. And then that is the code that I would be putting it into the Source to You. And each bottle has their own code. So they have a batch of oil that they would go through these tests. And that code is that test results. It'll show you. So you can go onto their website and you can actually look at that. So this is all why I chose doTERRA, because of their testing, their research, their integrity, and I know how safe they are. So they also do co-packed impact sourcing so that the plants are grown and harvested in ideal conditions, the climate, soil, rainfall, harvested at a certain time. That all influences the quality and the potency of an oil, and that they are sustainably and responsibly sourced at fair trade. And so we call this a certified pure tested grade. And that it's beyond just organic. And so it's a verified internal standard of excellence so that you know what is in every drop in that bottle of oil that you've just purchased. They're safe, effective, they're consistent and high quality, and they're rigorous testing and third-party testing, sourceto.com. That is all why I love doTERRA. And that I can be confident that it's safe to use for my whole family. Another reason to use doTERRA is that the essential oils, doTERRA essential oils, is that they have a veterinarian education committee. And so here you see all the different people, all the different vets. So Dr. Janet Rourke is there. They all provide their own specialty skill set, and they're part of that team of wealth of knowledge. And they provide advice to doTERRA about essential oils and pet use. Grab some water here. So let's do some myth busting. You may have heard that essential oils are toxic to pets. I mean, I guarantee you, if you look something up on the internet, like Dr. Google, right, you're going to find something. You're going to find some good, and you're going to find some of these crazy myths that I'm going to bust. Okay? You have to know the whole story. So, speaking of stories, I'm going to tell you a quick story here about Wanda. Now, she has lots of cats and was too scared to use essential oils in her home because she heard that they were toxic to cats. How many of you have heard of that or even maybe felt that way? I don't know, but I know that I've come across people that are too scared and concerned because they have a cat, and they don't realize that some of these essential oils actually can support their cat's health when you do it safely. So she wanted to be more natural because, of course, because of all the other chemicals in her home were toxic that she was using. She wanted to find better alternatives, um, like for her cleaning supplies and things like that. So she wanted better options. So after learning more about essential oils and how to safely use them, she feels so much more confident now that she uses essential oils in her home. I have 5 cats, all different and with each of their own unique things going on. So she was leery about using oils with all of my kitties until this class. Thank you for sharing your knowledge like this. I feel 1,000 times more confident now in using essential oils and in knowing which is better for them. Myth busting 1. Diffusing around pets is dangerous. Yeah, if you're not going to use pure essential oils. And so this is why doTERRA is the only one that I can recommend that I know that will be safe to diffuse around your pets. Diffusing is easy. You don't need 20 drops of oils. You only need a few, like 2 to 4 drops. They're extremely potent. So pure oils are very potent. So less is often better for both us and for them, for your pets. And diffusing around them is beneficial to both of you. So essential oils are potent. And because of that, pets have millions of olfactory receptors. So we only have so many, right? But they've got so many more, which makes them so much more sensitive to strong smells. So diffusing around pets is an excellent way to improve their health on a regular basis. Use a water diffuser, so a water-based diffuser, an intermittent setting. Leave them in a room with a door open or an area, diffuse in an area that they can just leave. If it's like a bedroom, make sure that that door is cracked open. But having said that, I diffuse Serenity at night and both dogs are in with us. We're all fine. So that goes to show you how safe doTERRA is. But I also have been doing this a lot longer. And when you're first diffusing around your animals, just observe them. Like, watch how they're reacting. And if it's something that like they walk away, they don't like the oil, then we can find another alternative to use instead, right? A different oil that they will like. You can do self-selection, which I'll talk about in, I think, a few slides down the road after the myth busting. So you can apply topically and it will help them. So here, another myth. Never pet your dog or cat after using essential oils. Well, the truth is that essential oils applied topically can actually help them. And you will dilute at first, of course, and then rub along their spine, along their ear tips. Our dogs and cats, they love this. And you can put it like on their harness or on their collar. All depends on what you're using it for and what oils you're applying. So smells can linger on your hands. So having said that, when you're like rubbing or using it on you, wash your hands. They can linger on there. But they also don't last very long. Essential oils are volatile, so they evaporate quite quickly and they absorb quickly into your skin. So with strong oils, though, it's not a bad idea to wash your hands and apply after applying so you don't accidentally get like peppermint in their eyes, right? So peppermint is a very strong oil, so you want to make sure that you don't get it in their eyes or your eyes. Having said that, you can use a carrier oil. Don't wash it off because it'll dry that oil in quicker. So use a carrier oil such as fractionated coconut oil. Dab the area if it is sensitive around your eyes or their eye, but just be careful around that. Use some caution. Myth 2, insert any oil there, right? I bet you can look and find something about lemon or, I don't know, lavender is harmful to cats or dogs. doTERRA, I've diffused lavender and our cats are perfectly fine. In fact, it helps them. So the truth, citrus oils, pine oils, lavender oil, there's no science that backs this up, right? But having said that, cats can be more sensitive creatures. They have a liver enzyme that is not there, so they lack a liver enzyme to help break down and metabolize certain things. So it's not a bad idea to use a little extra caution with them. But essential oils are perfectly safe to use in your do-it-yourself cleaning. You can diffuse in your home or even diluted and use topically with cats. You just need to know which ones are safe to use with them. Use caution with tea tree, birch, wintergreen, topically and orally. And if your cat has underlying respiratory problems, use more caution with especially strong smelling oils like peppermint, eucalyptus, oregano, and cinnamon, etc. So there's a few oils out there that we would need to be cautious about. I would want to, if you're looking for a consult, I would want to know more historically about your animal, if there's any health issues. And, like for diabetes, as an example, then I would make sure that we use certain oils and not others. So I've got a guide that I can, a resources that I can look up so that I know that I can choose the right oil for your pet or for yourself. So using essential oils around pets can cause liver or kidney damage. Well, the truth is that as they age, this can happen. And it's very common that there's kidney failure in your pet or liver failure, and it is extremely heartbreaking process to watch them go through that. And people are often looking for something to blame, and often it's something like essential oils. But usually diet is more so a leading contributor, or the disease had been going on unnoticed until the disease had progressed to a certain point. So liver failure and kidney failure are so common regardless of essential oil usage. But as I said, a lot of people want to point towards that, but that's not the case. I can speak from that where our senior cat, we didn't even realize that he had stage 3 chronic kidney disease until we did a blood panel. So he was a senior. He lived till 17, and he passed away fairly recently, which was very sad. We actually had a diagnosis last year. And so we helped support him through some vet support that we can do ourselves, which would be giving him more hydration, so fluids under the skin, so more hydration procedure for him. And we also used essential oils to help with discomfort, to help promote better function for his kidneys as well, to support them. And so there are oils that can help support. So we had like juniper berry is one of them, frankincense, copaiba, and we made up a roller to help. We also used Digest Zen to help diluted. So we're all diluting these for a cat. And I think we used like 1 or 2% dilution. So we had been using oils with Percival for chronic pain for his hip, so for arthritic pain for a while. So he had been using oils before. And so we knew roughly, or I knew roughly how much to dilute. And so I wanted to give him the best support possible and diluted at a 2%, if I recall correctly. So I used juniper berry, and I used copaiba and frankincense for that. Digest Zen, so to help him with digestive issues, because often he would get nauseous. So he lived a good 6 months at least, and he was between a stage 3 and 4. So that helped him survive a lot longer, helped him have a better quality of life by using these oils. And you'll see some pictures of him as well snoozing in this presentation. And I feel that I think we were given possibly 2-3 months, maybe at best. And he lived much longer. And I really believe that these essential oils helped support him so that he could be with us as long as possible. It was really sad to see him go through all that. And it's your baby, right? So we would want to do as much as we can to help our pets. Myth 5, if my pet gets too much essential oil, they will die. Well, if you dose him with, there's one case of tea tree. So it was a small dog, less than 10 pounds. And the owner decided that they were going to use an equivalent of 2 bottles of undiluted tea tree oil as flea treatment. So please do not do that. That is the thing that you definitely do not do. But we've all experienced accidents, like your dog might get into chocolate and then off you go to the vet. So there are situations that you do need to go see your vet. Accidents do happen, but they are very, very rare. So, ingestions of large amounts of essential oil, intentional or accidental. Essential oils that are they are 50 to 70 times more potent than herbs, so keep that in mind. But the most adverse reactions tend to be mild skin irritations, but most reactions, even severe ones, resolve in 24 to 48 hours. So if you see a reaction, stop the oil, bring them outside, get some fresh air, and it should resolve itself. And to make sure that you're storing these bottles out of reach, away from them to get at to them. I've had our dog, Franklin, grab my Copaiba and try to run off with it, because he loves it so much. So if my pet gets too much of that, just discontinue. Your dog shows signs of distress, drooling, squinting, vocalization, shaking, vomiting, diarrhea, muscle twitching, etc. Dilute with a carrier oil if applied topically. Feed the animal coconut oil or milk or yogurt to help dilute it if it was internally ingested. Keep the lids on your bottles and store them in a safe place, such as a closed box or drawer, to prevent them from accidentally borrowing them. So how to use it? We want to use these. So let's see, how do we use these oils with our pets? So overall pet health. So you might want to use it for nutrition, digestive health, exercise and joint muscle health, environmental health. So reducing our toxic load, to support them if they've got anxiety, reducing stress. So separation anxiety is one. Immune health, supporting immune system from puppies to senior dogs throughout their life. So proactive care. So how to use them? You can use it aromatically, so diffuse, spray into the air, a direct inhalation, or on a cloth, a couple of drops. That's actually a good way to do a self-selection. You could put a couple of drops like on a little cloth and then let them figure out which one they like. Hot water, steam, humidifier, fan, or air filter. You can use it topically, but dilution is truly the key here. Dilute. Direct application to the spine. You can massage. There's reflexology points. There's ear tipping, an area of interest. So if you've got like surgery, an area that you want for a wound to heal or irritation, you can use these in shampoo, cold, hot compresses, or a roller bottle spray. So like I made up like a calming spray here. So there's some balance in here and some lavender. I can't remember how many drops offhand. But there's a calming spray recipe. So if you want that, please reach out to let me know. Please follow me. Please subscribe to my channel. Join my Facebook group. And I can teach you. I will provide recipes to help support your animal or for you. But this here, I would just take here and a couple of squirts. And then I would like put it into my own palms, and then I would just pet my dog, right? Pet my cat. And that's how they would benefit from it topically. And you can benefit from it at the same time, so that there's balance in lavender, so it helps. definitely calm. So if you're in a like thunderstorm or fireworks, or just if they're like riled up and they need nap time, it's a good way to have them calm down enough so they take a little nap. You can use it internally. So limit no more than 1 or 2 drops at a time. You can mix it with wet food in a capsule topped with carrier oil, diluted and rubbed on their gums. So there are ways of using it. And if your dog is like a 40-pounder, you can use like a Copaiba soft gel as an example. I believe it's like 40 pounds. So I've got a guide. There's also a dilution guide based on weight. And if you're a cat or a dog, like the species. And if you're using topically on cats, another thing is that they will ingest the oil. So it is really important to choose an oil that can be ingestible and that's friendly to a cat. And the same thing with dogs. So dilution. Start out more diluted with your pet. So you introduce it. Carrier oils. You can use fractionated coconut oil. You can use an aloe gel or aloe vera juice. You can use that. Avocado or almond oil. You can always increase the concentration, but you can't take it away. So you start off slowly. So you use the lowest dilution for your animal, and then you can increase it. So there is a guide. So please reach out to me. Please comment, and I can provide that to you. I can help you through that. Self-selection. I mentioned earlier about self-selection where some people will actually use like a little cloth and put a drop on to see which one their dog will go to. But another way is you always leave the cap on. You do not take it off, because if they decide they want to lick it, this one here is balanced. This is not ingestible, right? But you also want to keep the cap here, the top portion, sterile, so you don't want them to eat or lick it. But they can breathe. They can definitely smell through it. So if your bottle has been opened, you can like sort of keep a little bit, unscrew a little bit, but keep the cap on to protect it, and then present it to them. So they'll often come to you to sniff, and they will stay, or they'll, in this case, the dog's licking its lips and licking the nose. It's a positive. Or with Franklin, he will roll over on his belly and he wants belly rubs. And if they don't like it, they're going to turn away. So like for a cat, they will back up and they'll turn away. But if they like the oil, they will often rub into the bottle or into your hand if you're holding it. But with both dogs and cats here, they will turn and go the other way. They will back up. They won't. That means that they don't like it. But if they like it, they'll stick around. They'll do something like what this dog's doing, or they'll ask for belly rubs, or they'll try to steal it from you. So another reason why I keep that lid on. So top 10. There's a lot to go through here, so hopefully you're still with me. Digest Zen. This has been a saver for tummy trouble. It is when you have digestion problems with your animals, you want them to get better fast. So Digest Zen is great to use. And then you can also use like Terrazyme as well, which is like an enzyme. If your dog is under 10 pounds, then half a cap of the Terrazyme twice a day. If they are above, they can have a full one. For Digest Zen, you would make like a roller. It would help reduce bloating or gas or indigestion, ease a feeling of queasiness, so you can apply it topically. And if your dog is above the 20-25 pound mark, you can do it internally. They may or may not like it. You can always use a capsule or put it in food or in a treat. And that's a little bit about Digest Zen. So that's one of the oils. On Guard is a really good oil to have in the house, not just for you, but your pet. So it's effective immune support. It protects against environmental threats. When you're diffusing, it cleans the air. You can use it as a cleaner as well. So you can make up a cleaner. So many drops in a glass bottle sprayer. It supports a healthy respiratory function. So an example that we were reading about when I was doing the level 1 certificate, it was a young puppy, and they had bloody diarrhea and they were vomiting, and it started on a Sunday. And the Digest Zen and On Guard was used, diluted every 2 hours topically, and then they added On Guard and oregano internally in a little capsule or treat. And then on Tuesday, they gave some chicken broth and Pedialyte hourly for hydration. They had brought the dog in to the vet, but the test hadn't come back yet at that point, although I believe they tested for parvo, and it finally came back as positive on the Tuesday. And by Wednesday, she was running around like a pup again. So it worked that quickly and supportively for the dog. So on Sunday, really sick. The test results didn't come back till Tuesday, but the owner was using essential oils to support all the way through. And the test finally came back, revealing what the issue was, and the dog felt better by Wednesday. So it's just an amazing story. Lavender. That is a calming and relaxing oil. They also have Lavender Touch, which is perfect. And I'm like looking to see where it is. Right here. So Lavender Touch. And I screwed the top. So you just would apply it like this, rub it in your hands, and then pet your animal. So Lavender Touch is perfectly diluted. This is good for you to help skin irritations and all sorts of other things that I won't get into in this presentation. But Lavender Touch is used in our house as part of our first aid kit, and it's perfectly good for your animals as well. It's calming, it soothes itchy skin, so both in us and them. It relieves anxious feelings in car rides. It helps peaceful sleep. It can be used topically, diffused, or internally. And you can use IQ Omega for healthy skin and coat as well. So that's a little bit about that. Aroma Touch. This one I have used with Roxy when she injured her leg. You can use Aroma Touch with cats as well. A testimony let's see here. I'll just read a testimony here. My dog Chinook healed in 3 days from a muscle sprain contracture of her tail. A drop of each copaiba, turmeric, and frankincense twice a day in our food, and a massage with Aroma Touch and Balance twice a day, and Aroma Touch and Balance in diffusion, 10 hours, 5 minutes on and 5 minutes off. And she was good as new. So it can support healthy joints, applied topically for a relaxing massage. It's perfect for senior dogs, supports lymphatic flow and circulation, and relaxes tense muscles and sore joints. And you could use this with Deep Blue Polyphenol Complex to help. It's a supplement for a larger dog, larger breeds. Balance. I've talked about Balance. It's a very relaxing, grounding blend. It promotes mental tranquility, helps for restful sleep, comforting. You can apply prior to other oils. Diffuse in your car. So if your pet is a little anxious in the car, you can diffuse it there. Eases anxious feelings. So if your pet gets anxious, that would be a good one to diffuse around the house. Another one is bergamot, which is really good as well. Supports the nervous system, and you can apply topically or diffuse. Copaiba. This is a favorite of mine and a favorite of Franklin's and Roxy's. And I've also used it with Percival for some arthritic support. It's extremely versatile. It can help with the immune system, digestive tract, urinary, respiratory, and musculoskeletal and nervous system. It's a powerful antioxidant. It relaxes sore muscles, joints, eases the urinary tract and digestive tract, supports the hepatic system, promotes lymphatic flow, supports the upper and lower respiratory tract and mucous membranes, and it's a foundation for cellular health. And it's emotionally relaxing and can be used to help soothe and calm anxiousness and decrease stress and feelings of overwhelm. So how I would use this oil is that For Roxy and Franklin, they're under 20 pounds. And so often it would be just topically. But if I feel that they need a little extra, I will take not a full drop. So I would take like a toothpick, and there's like a little hole. And so I'd take a clean toothpick, and then I would put that in there. So it's really important that you keep these things clean, so that you keep the oil pure and sterile. And then I would mix that toothpick into their food, into their wet food, or into some water. Um, and they can also use like a dram. They're like a smaller, like if you've ever gotten a sample from me, then it's like a quarter drop. But for a larger dog, you could easily put a drop into their food. I think I have to double check on the weight measurements. But with soft gel, Copaiba comes into a soft gel format. You can definitely use that in a larger dog, and that can help with pain, muscular and nervous system. It is very good for them. So cedar wood. Cedar wood is an oil that I think we probably were diffusing here. It's Percival. It supports the respiratory system, encourages proper lymphatic flow, promotes a urinary tract health. It can repel insects and pests, promotes healthy hair growth, and particularly in combined with rosemary, and eases stress and anxiousness, calming and encourages restful sleep through the night. It's a natural flea and tick repellent as well, so you would apply to legs and neck before going outside. Of course, for cats, you would dilute, and even with smaller dogs. And you can diffuse this. It's a really good oil. Frankincense. I want to talk more about frankincense, more in detail here. You can kind of see what it can help you with. And frankincense is referred to as the king of oils, or a life force oil. It's historically used as a holy oil. It has been used to aid with asthma and depression and even ulcers, although there might be some better alternative essential oils for ulcers, but it has been known to be used for that. And I know what you're thinking. That's all nice and interesting, but what about the science, right? Well, frankincense has been extensively studied in the scientific literature, and it's closely looked at for its anti-tumoral and anti-cancer properties. So it's a very good oil to have. And often the saying is like, when in doubt, you take the frankincense out. So when in doubt, we use frankincense. It is also significant like the literature for its analgesic, so a painkiller, as well as an antidepressant, sedative, and anti-inflammatory properties. It is one of my favorite oils. It's been widely used with animals and has a very wide margin of safety. So it's an oil that you can use with a wide, like all species. You can safely diffuse it around eggs and birthing animals. It is an enhancer, which makes it very useful in combination with other oils, such as myrrh or lavender. It can be used safely in every species of animal and is well tolerated and is highly effective. So this is definitely an oil to have around, handy with for you, yourself, and for your pets. With dogs, you can topically diffuse, or internal application can be used. So you would start with 1 or 2 drops of this mixture, either orally mixed with food or topically along the spine, and up to 1 to 2 drops per 20 pounds twice daily, or for serious or life-threatening conditions as the animal tolerates. And for cats, diffusion, topical application, dilute, or neat. And so neat would be just directly like on. And I would with the smaller animal, I would dilute it just to be on the safer side at first to see how they tolerate it. So with the cat, you would want to dilute and mixing it into wet food to be given orally, 1 drop diluted in 30 drops carrier oil, and 1 drop of this is given if orally to start out with. So that's what I mean by diluting, although that is generally not needed. Or 4 to 5 drops mixed with 1 cup of baking soda, and you can sprinkle that on into their litter. So that's another way a cat would be getting a benefit from the essential oil. This oil can be diffused or added to water, and 1 drop per liter of water for an exotic animal or birds, or even applied topically for rabbits or other small pets. So always start with the smallest amount that is recommended, increase very slowly over several days or weeks as needed, and you just observe your animal to see how, what their response is. So usually the smallest amount gives a significant response. This oil is helpful post-surgery to help with pain and anxiety associated with pain as well. And I typically would diffuse and give it orally in those cases. So let's not forget the emotional impact that this oil has as well, because frankincense is the oil of truth and helps with feelings of abandonment, feeling of being unprotected or negative emotions. So this would be a good oil for like a rescue, for example, to diffuse to help them the transition period. Myrrh. So this is a really good oil. It's an amazing oil for skin, for oral health. It's like powerful for cleansing properties. It's soothing. It eases stomach discomfort, and it's good for post surgery. It affects the endocrine system, immune system, skin, and the nervous system. So this oil has also been historically used as an incense in religious ceremonies to treat contagious infectious disease and as a cancer treatment. And I could go on. This oil is an awesome oil to have, but I also know that this can go on a lot longer than what I would want. For dogs, you can diffuse this. Again, you can apply 1 or 2 drops of this oil along their spine topically, apply directly over the thyroid for thyroid issues as an example, or apply topically at the base of the skull. For cats, you can diffuse topically. You can use it directly over the area of concern, dilute or knead. And always start out with diluting to determine the tolerance. Okay, so please reach out if you're unsure about how to use an oil, because I am happy to look up the resources that I have available and to double check all the dilution requirements for your cat, so we are safe here. 1 drop diluted in 30 drops of carrier oil, and 1 drop of this given orally to start out with if it's needed that way. And it could be given undiluted if the cat will tolerate it, although that is generally not needed. 4 to 5 drops mixed with a cup of baking soda and sprinkled in their litter. So that's another way of using this. If your feline has acne, mix 2 drops of myrrh with 15 mils of alcohol-free witch hazel and apply to the chin with a cotton ball twice a day. So that's just a little example of how you can help your cat if that occurs. This oil is helpful post-surgery to help with pain and anxiety as well. So you could diffuse it or apply topically. And you can diffuse it with frankincense and lavender as well for emotional or hormonal and for painful situations to help them through that. Melissa. If you have a dog that's an older dog, this is, and that might be a little confused, this would be the oil that you would use. And you can also use Melissa instead of tea tree. So a lot of people are scared of using tea tree, and so there are alternatives, and Melissa is one of them. And so it is for just cautionary measures. This would be the oil that you would go to. There's also Arbor Vitae that you could use as well. So a lot of these oils have similar properties, and I can definitely look that up to choose the best oil to help support your pet. So this one here is powerful for the brain. It is a powerful antiviral and antifungal properties. So you would use it in small animals, right, instead of tea tree. Effective, and it must have a must-have for any health or physical behavior for all animals. So it's a very good oil to have as well. So let's go to safety. I don't know how long I've been talking, but I'm sure that we are close to getting through this educational session here. But it's so important to know how to use oil safely around your pets, so not to be scared of it, right? So dilute for topical use. Know your pet's health status. So when I'm doing a consultation, I want to know the history of your pet. So if they have diabetes, or if they already are having difficulty with their kidneys, that kind of thing. So I know what oils to use, what would be beneficial, or if they do have an illness or a condition such as diabetes, I would want to make sure that I choose oils that are not going to interfere with their medication that they might be on or with their condition. So it's very important that I know all about your animal to best support them. So do not use oils near their eyes or their ears, their nose, their genitals, because those are very sensitive areas. Use a water diffuser. This is what you see here in the picture. Allow the animal to roam freely. Keep room door open. Caution around animals that are pregnant or nursing or young or on certain medications. Do not use oils if using a topical medication or dermal patch. So again, history is so important to know when I'm doing a consult. And do not give products containing xylitol, so that's beadlets, toothpaste, mouthwash, digest tabs, PBSS Junior, etc. So those are some of the things that doTERRA has. So do not give those. Only use CPTG oils, so certified pure therapeutic grade oil. So this is why I can talk about doTERRA. I know that they are. And observe your pet's behavior. So it's a lot of this is common sense, but this is what you should be doing to keep your pets safe. So adverse reactions, dilute with carrier oil. Most resolve in 24 hours, like open up the window, get some fresh air. Discontinue if they're stressed. So stress could be looked at as drooling or squinting, rubbing their face, shaking, vomiting or diarrhea, which is really on the extent of the extreme reaction, right? So oils to avoid with dogs. This is more of a cautionary measure. Birch, Manuka, which is tea tree, wintergreen. Use caution with hot oils and diffuse topically. So cassia, cinnamon, clove, oregano, rosemary, and thyme. So I'm not sure what situations you would want to use these oils in diffusion or topically, but we would want to be very careful with this. Some oils are photosensitizing, so use caution on outdoor animals. So then you would use them more on the underside, on their belly, to do that. And having said all this, I've never had an issue with any of our animals, and I've only used doTERRA oils. So cats. So to avoid with cats, more so on a cautionary measure, is birch, tea tree, wintergreen, peppermint. Some of them are sensitive, and some of the hot oils. So again, I have never, ever had any issues with any of our cats, but I also don't recall ever diffusing tea tree. I have used tea tree on us, not on them. So there's a lot of things that you can do to use these oils safely around pets. So a little bit about birds. I'm not so much familiar in this area, but you can do water diffusion, water misting the feathers. So you can use like a 4-ounce glass bottle, 10 to 20 drops of essential oil. Observe your bird behavior for the first 20 minutes of diffusion, because I know that they are sensitive, just sort of like cats are sensitive, but birds are as well with their lungs. So just observe the behavior, apply 1 or 2 drops of balance to their perch, so they would benefit that way. Birds are sensitive due to their air sacs and their unique respiratory tract and their small size. So if you do want some information on birds or like the pocket pets, I do have a resource that I can look up and I can assist. It's just not an area that I'm not as familiar with. But there are some cautionary measures that you want to use with smaller pets. So you need to use caution with hot oils, and if you diffuse in the same room, to provide these pocket pets with a probiotic. And then water diffusion is preferred. And I can, as I said, reach out if you want some information on essential oils and pets like rabbits and guinea pigs. please let me know and I can get that resource information for you. So how do you get started? So there's a few ways that you can get started. I have a website and I can certainly post that. There is a free membership, so you can choose one or many oils to get started. There is a free annual membership that doTERRA gives to you when you sign up with my link, and then you get 25% off and you get everything shipped to your door. There's no obligation or fee to like do what I do unless you wish to. And I can also walk you through that. And there are promotions as well. So that is how you would get started. So these are some of the oils that I've talked about in this presentation and the top 10. Now there is my website, mydoterra.com, Sonia Botwinski, or speak to me, reach out to me. And there's also like some oils that I can set up a customized link to give to you. So for a dog kit, I would recommend Serenity, Balance, Cedarwood, Fractionated Coconut Oil, Aroma Touch, Terrazyme, Copaiba, On Guard. And then with all of that, you would get a free pebble diffuser as well. I think you have to get like 150 PV and you would get a free pebble diffuser. So I can provide you like a dog kit link, and I can also make something up for cats as well. And I can provide the top oils for each species to help you to be able to support them better. And that's concludes my presentation. And I hope that you've learned a little bit more about oils, that it's not to be feared, that it can help you and your pets to support along your health journey, and an alternative way to support both of you. So please subscribe, please join my Facebook group, and please reach out to me and I'd be happy to answer any more questions that you have. So I wanted to thank you for joining me, for having patience to listen to this point, and I look forward to helping you and your pets and family. I do some consultations as well, and I'd be happy to talk to you about how we can better support your fur babies. Stay tuned and join my channel to get some more updates on how to use oil specifically. I will be continuing education for both your family, for use for home, and for pets. Thanks so much for learning with me and for joining me today.